All right, so today we're going to jump into discussing what perfect cubes are. So using our knowledge of perfect squares, a perfect cube kind of follows very similar thinking. So what a perfect cube is, or cube roots, we'll talk about cube roots as well, is kind of instead of something being multiplied by itself twice, now we're thinking in context of multiplying by itself 3 times or cubing a value. So in this case, we have very similar thinking. So these numbers here, these are our perfect cubes. They're perfect cubes because they come we get them by cubing integers as well. So whole or positive or negative whole numbers. So 0 cubed is 0. 3 cubed is 27. 6 cubed is 216. These values now, instead of calling them square roots, are going to be called cube roots. So kind of that same progression or pattern of thinking. So now we're taking a number and we're multiplying by itself 3 times to get our result. So there's a little bit that changes with cubes because of that idea of multiplying by itself 3 times. So here's the big things. First off, the notation is a little different. When we're talking about a cube root, we're going to see the radical sign, but it's going to have a little 3 there. That 3 is saying, hey, don't find the square root, but find the third root, the cube root of the value. So it looks something like this. What is the cube root of 8? Well, the cube root of 8 is 2. If I wanted the cube root of 1,000, the cube root of 1,000, oh, it's not 100, it's 10. I jumped ahead of myself. Probably thinking I was crazy. Cube root of 1,000 is 10. So 10 times 10 times 10, 10 times 10 is 1,000. All right, so noticeable differences. We talked about how you can't square root a negative value. Not the case with cube roots. Cube rooting a negative is okay. So we can find the cube root of negative 8. That is negative 2. If you don't believe me, let's do the math. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Negative times a negative is a positive, positive 4. Positive 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So I got that value underneath my radical sign, that radicand. So that is okay. If I want the cube root of negative 343, negative 7. So that's a big difference. We can cube root negative values. And then also with the cube rooting undoes cubing. So we talked about, what if I had the cube root of x cubed? Well, the cube root cancels out the cube, and I'm left with x. What is the cube root of 8 cubed? Well, the cube root of 8 cubed is 8. So that's a similarity between square roots and that pattern of they undo one another. So that's the little bit about cube roots. Cube roots with the calculator is a little trickier. What you're looking for in your calculator, and I don't have the same calculator as you, so I'm going to do kind of a drawing of it. You're looking for something that looks like this. Okay, it might have that x, or it might just have the cube root and blank. Sometimes it's above a key. For example, if you look at my buttons, you can see these yellow words are above the key. What that means is you'll see you have a second button on your calculator. So if I want the second button, or I want the second option of a key, I'm going to hit second, and then I'm going to hit that key, and it's going to give me the second option, which is that square root. So you might have to hit that and then put in your answer. All right, and that is finding cube roots.